Okay, good morning guys, Cycle Preacher here. This morning we're going to be doing an install on the KLR650 2012 model. I'm going to be putting on a set of Barkbusters and wind guards. My wife generously got these for me on our last trip to Perth. So we're going to install those today, hopefully step by step, make it nice and easy. Notice there's none of these videos on YouTube, so hopefully this helps somebody out. Alright, let's get down to it. Okay guys, welcome to another install video by Cycle Preacher. Today we're going to be installing these Barkbusters, which yes, you can see are already installed, because I'm actually at the end of my install, but I just wanted to show you the tools that I used in order to get this install done. Pretty simple, just a wrench with a 10 and 12mm socket, and then on the other end of those you just need the 12mm wrench just to hold the other end. Pair of pliers just for helping get out a plastic tab to pull the cables away. The longer screwdriver just to pry off the old wind protectors. A Phillips head screwdriver to attach the wind guards. A couple of different Allen keys. I'm not sure of their size. I think these ones are from an old bed frame or something. But two different sizes there, which you'll have if you're somebody that wrenches. Some Loctite just to get most of it all down. Make sure it doesn't rattle loose on the trails, and you may, if you can't fit your clamps on the same way that I could, you may require to cut off a little metal tab that holds in some electrical wires using a hacksaw, and then I filed that down. So they're very simple tools. Everybody's pretty much got that in their shed. Yeah, go ahead and I'll show you how I did it all. See you later. This is for the 22mm handlebars. These Barkbusters make different guards for different bikes, so this 22mm set should fit the KLR without any too crazy modifications, which will be good because I don't feel like chopping up my bike or hacksawing bits off it. So unpacked, got the protection, set of bolts and bits and pieces, and of course trusty instructions. So we'll go through that and then we'll get the install started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove the stock handguards, and I'll do that using a 10mm spanner, top and bottom. Say goodbye to your wind protection and welcome to the Barkbusters. Okay, so you can see I've removed the top and bottom bolt. However, the bottom may need to be coaxed off with a screwdriver because it just doesn't want to come off there. So I'll do that and then we'll see what's next. Okay, and now we repeat the same process for the right side of the bike. You can see mine's already loose because I had a bit of a fall at one stage. So I'll do that and we'll have them off. Okay, so now we've got the wind guards off. We just need to reinstall the nut and the bolt on both left and right sides of the bike. Actually looks pretty badass without those. Maybe I should just keep them off. Okay, I'm actually going to use some Loctite when I replace this bolt and the nut on the bottom, just so that they don't rattle loose when I'm on the trails. Alrighty, the next step towards getting these Barkbusters installed is to remove the stock weights on the end of each handlebar, and we do that using a hex key, which is this one. Alright guys, so because this set comes with a variety of different bolts because it fits on a variety of different bikes, we actually don't need the spacers and bits and pieces. The first thing we're going to do is install the frame using just the nut and one spacer. They call it a weight, but it's definitely not a weight, it's really light. So they're going to go on through here. And then that's going to attach directly to the handguard. So I'm just going to put that on lightly. I won't even put Loctite on it yet, just so I can get the other end positioned in the correct spot. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we can see what it looks like. Alrighty guys, so now we've got both guards just loosely attached to the bars, both sides of the bike. We now need to get some cables out of the way, so I'm going to start just by pulling this plastic one out that holds the, I think it's the electricals. I'm going to pull that out, get it out of the way, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then hopefully we won't need to remove this little steel hook here that's holding in the clutch cable. Hopefully. No, it's not the clutch cable, it's some other cable, but hopefully we don't need to remove that because I don't really want to cut into my bike. So I'm going to remove these with a set of pliers and we'll see how we go. Okay guys, so I had no luck fitting the clamp onto the bar because there was a cable in the way that prevents it from bending in the correct direction. So I am going to have to remove that metal tab. Didn't have the tools I needed, so ta-da! Been off to Bunnings, collected a hacksaw, file just to get rid of any burrs, spare blades, so hopefully they'll come in useful for more than just this project. So I'll go ahead and do that and we'll see what happens. See if I can get that little metal hook off the bike. My wife's not sure if she should talk or not. She said, "It's recording." This feels strange cutting into my bike. Alrighty, now we can remove this like so, clean up the sharp edges with the file, and then this cable can be removed right out of the way so that the clamp can be installed. Okie dokie, so you can see here I've got these cables right out of the way. I've filed back as best I could these little knobs that were left from the hook. So coming over here now, we've got two sets, one for the left, one for the right side of the bars. I'm just going to concentrate on this part. We need to recognise here we've got a longer bolt and a shorter bolt. The longer one will go towards the rider, where the rider sits, so just be aware of that. You don't want to get them muddled up because you'll just have to undo them and do them back up. So I'm going to set the camera up so you can see me do that, and then we'll do the other side as well. Okay, when you install this longer nut at the back, you will need to make sure that you put it in upside down so that the nut goes at the top. Otherwise you won't be able to get the Allen bolt in, the Allen wrench in to reach it. Alright, so you got that. Now you got your little extender bar that reaches out to the main frame. That one can go in from the top down, so backwards from the other side. And I'm just going to leave that all loose to start with. So that we can get our measurements done. Okay, notice I've got the clutch cable above the setup, not below. That way it can reach up nice and high. Alright. Okay guys, you can see I've got the left side of the bike all tightened down. It's as firm as anything. It's in a good position, looks good with the cover on. This side though, just because I'm a perfectionist, it's just maybe a fraction low. So what I'm going to do, because the brake caliper or whatever this is in the way, I've just loosened it and I'm just able to lift it a little, which means I'll then be able to reposition this part just a few mil higher, just to get that perfectionism that I love. So I'll do that and hopefully we can get it balanced out. Alrighty then, so we've got quite a bit of success here. They're pretty level when you sit the bike up straight off its side stand. I've Loctite down this bolt, I've Loctite down this bolt. The bolts on the connector bit here though are self-locking, so I haven't worried about Loctite on those, and I've repeated the same process on the other side, which I may have already mentioned. So the next step now is to install the plastics. They go together pretty easily, but I'll take you through that so you've got a complete installation video. Guys, so the plastics install really simply. These two go with this little set, which clip on the inside of the plastic guard, and this little tacker here goes through this hole here. So we'll take it over to the bike. That guides on pretty well, like so, and that hole there should line up with the hole in the guard. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how you'll see on the inside, perhaps if it's not too dark, there's two screws that just screw down that little pad over the top, and that should hold it on. Okay guys, so I've got the wind cover on. He was pretty tight to get in, but fine. Created his own thread I think when I put it in. And I'm not sure if you can see because of the light, but the clamp there holding that in, just got to make sure you get that round the right way. So you have to have a little bit of a fiddle like I did. My wife actually helped me out. I had to hold the clutch lever up out of the way in order to screw the bottom bolt in, so you may need a hand. And to perfectly confess before, it's not actually me that's the perfectionist, it is my wife. So she helped me line the bars up straight. So a second set of eyes will be really useful, just for making sure you've got both bars running parallel along the handlebars. Alright, I'm going to get the other side in, and then I'll give you a walk around and we'll have a look at the finished product. Check this out guys, I've pulled this stand out here to put my camera on to do any filming, and up close and personal, redback spider. Not sure what sort of quality that's coming up with, probably Australia's deadliest spider. Couple of nice eggs right where I knew I put my hand, but that's okay.